Peyton Manning is wicked smart, but with only a slightly above average IQ and a Wonderlic score of 28, you wouldn't draw this conclusion, and his final neck injury could have ended his career. Instead, it revealed his true genius. While football IQ can't be boiled down to a test, some put too much weight on these scouting methods. He scored 28 on the Wonderlic score, when the average is 26, not a score that says Manning is a genius. Yet if you look at what he was doing from an early age, it was clear these tests were missing something, and after his neck injury, he simply further proved what his secret weapon was: his mind. He learnt the 7-step drop at age 4. He's the man who showed up to the Colts training camp after just being drafted and had memorized the playbook. His football genius was undeniable. It's as though all his brainpower was channeled into football. His friend once said he has an amazing grasp of what to do on the field, but he can't do anything else on his own. He didn't even know how to use a can opener. While at the University of Tennessee, Manning would get VHS tapes of every practice. Then, twice a year, he'd return a garbage bag full of tapes. He had watched them all, some multiple times. The smartest, the most prepared, surely it's one of those. He had this ability to recall plays from a game 15 years ago in the second quarter on 2nd and 7 with 8 minutes remaining. In 2012, Manning called a member of staff at the University of Tennessee, asking for a play.
So I pick up the phone and I go in the corner where it's quiet and I'm all, hello? And no, hi, how you doing? Nothing. This is what he says. In 1996, Tennessee played Ole Miss in Memphis. In the third quarter, we ran a play called Flip Right Duo, X Motion, Fake Roll 98 Block Pass Special.
This knowledge came from his absurd amount of film study. He actually spent an entire month every offseason rewatching every one of his plays. He had a yottabyte of data in that head. In a 2013 meeting before a game against the Steelers, he recognized a blitz call from 1999. And therein lies, at least in part, the genius of Manning. He has seen so much football, he developed an uncanny ability to pick up little tells at the line, making adjustments and exploiting the defense. While many quarterbacks dominate with athleticism, Manning dominated with his brain, and that served him well when his body started to decline, as he remained the smartest guy on the field. While Manning was an excellent player, he never had the strongest arm, the tightest spiral, or speed of others, but he was methodical and consistent. He threw good enough that whatever deficiencies he had physically, he was able to make up for it, just by being a competitor and being prepared, and he was always just one step ahead of you mentally. While Peyton Manning struggled in his rookie year as the number 1 overall pick, it didn't take long to get into stride. With 11 of his 13 seasons as a Colt, with 10 or more wins and playoff appearances in each. After dealing with multiple neck injuries, he'd undergo that final and riskiest surgery in 2011. It was his third neck surgery in a year and a half. 12 years into his career, the 4-time MVP spent 2012 rehabbing after missing the 2011 season. They removed a bulging disc in his neck and also placed metal hardware, which affected communication between his brain and arm. That meant he had to relearn everything, even how to throw the ball. When rehabbing, he couldn't throw on target. He couldn't catch a snap or grip the ball tightly enough to hand it off. It took a lot of rehab to get to full strength, but he did get back to normal. Still, with the nerves recovering slowly, it affected his arm strength and accuracy. So he had to rely even more on his experience and mental abilities. This should now come as no surprise, knowing the type of player Manning was, but he ran a play-by-play simulation of the Colts' victory over the Jets in the 2009 AFC title game. The same passes, the same yardage, the entire game. That included the Jets running their offensive plays while Manning waited on the sideline. They then recorded the game, analyzed it, and compared it with the actual game. Not only did he have to go through all this rehab, he had to figure it out on a new team. After being released by the Colts, he found his way to Denver. Despite such a serious injury, his 2013 performance was one of the greatest at the position ever, setting the single-season touchdowns and yardage record, proving his mind is just as valuable as his physical abilities. He had 4 Super Bowl appearances with 4 different head coaches. There are 7 quarterbacks to make at least 4 Super Bowls. The most head coaches those quarterbacks have had, outside of Manning, is 2. I think this further proves his ability. He's extremely adaptable, it doesn't matter the personnel, he'll figure it out. And he retired first in career passing yards, career passing touchdowns, career wins, and game-winning drives. He's a 2-time Super Bowl champ, 5-time MVP, and 7-time first-team All-Pro.